Hey guys, 7th here. I was recently asked to name some of my greatest gaming disappointments. So I thought I would do, in my normal style, 7 games that disappointed the hell out of me. Number 7, Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm gonna have to make its own video on this one, I'm sorry, but number 7. Number 6, Batman Returns for the NES. I really loved the original Batman game for NES, as many of us did. It was a fantastic side-scrolling action game. But this one, this could not have been more of a disappointment. I mean, I think only the Genesis version of Batman Returns was more horrible than this one. Sega CD version, actually not that bad due to the car combat levels, but this, utter horse shit. Number 5, Bram Stoker's Dracula for the Sega CD. I know, it's an obscure title, right? Well, way back in the day, this got a good deal of hype in the Sega CD community. There were pictures of it in all the magazines showing still shots of what looked like a mind-blowingly phenomenal looking game. You know, we'd never seen a side-scrolling action game that looked like this at that time, and certainly not on a console. So we waited on it and we waited on it and we waited on it, and it finally hit the store shelves. We take it home and it's an uncontrollable piece of shit. This is one of the worst games on the Sega CD. Absolute worst. And I couldn't have been more pissed off that I spent $50 on this piece of shit. Number 4, Metroid Other M for the Wii. I think you guys know why. And this is one of 2 games from Team Ninja on this list. The biggest gripe with this game is that they got Samus all wrong. The character is completely wrong. The storyline is so fucked up. That's the biggest problem. The other problem is it's just not a good mix of control. The whole thing where you're having to stop and you go to this quasi first person mode where you're not really able to move around like a shooter, but you're using the Wii mode to aim around and take little pot shots like a light gun game. It doesn't feel right. It's not a good Metroid game, and it disappointed a hell of a lot of people, including me. Number 3, Aliens Colonial Marines. I think you all know by this point why this didn't live up to my expectations. It didn't look like it should have looked. It had one of the biggest plot holes ever concerning the survival of Kyle Reese when his frickin' lifeless body went to the prison planet with Ripley, and yet he's alive and well in this. Did they clone him? Does it ever say? I don't recall it doing so, but this game is utter trash. They released this wonderful video showing how fucking amazing it was gonna be, and then it comes out and it looks nothing like it. It looks like trash, and it plays like trash. It failed to live up to any expectation that any reasonable gamer and fan of Aliens had for it. I cannot unrecommend this enough. Number 2, Devil's Turd for the Wii U. I call it that because that's what it is. This game is horrible. And the only thing that it has going for it right now was it was a fairly late release and there wasn't a whole lot of copies for it, so it's hard to come by. So you got collectors clamoring to get one. It ain't worth it, folks. It ain't worth it. The storyline is crap, the graphics are crap, the animation's crap, the controls are crap, the game mechanics are crap. It's not good. It doesn't at all live up to the hype that Itagaki had flying all over the internet for it. Team Ninja fans were clamoring to get a hold of this game. And then they finally get it, and it's horse shit. This was probably one of the biggest disappointments of the last, I don't know, 7 to 10 years of gaming right here. And finally, we come to my number 1. I cannot hold it up to the camera to show it to you because I do not own it. The reason I do not own it is because I have previously owned it and then sold it 4 to 5 times because I am so conflicted over even having this game in my collection. This is how angry I get over this game. This is how pissed off I've been for decades over this game. It's one of the most conflicting titles that I have come across in my years of collecting. And that game, of course, is ActRaiser 2 for the Super Nintendo. This was a game that I was dying to play. I was an incredibly huge fan of ActRaiser. I loved the platforming. I loved the world building. I loved the graphics. I loved the music. The music is amazing in that game. And then here comes ActRaiser 2. And they've completely, not only stripped out all the world building, but the music is just trash compared to the previous game, and the controls of the side-scrolling parts that they did bless us with by leaving in the game pale in comparison to the first game. The first game was a breeze to control, and this one, it's horrible. The controls are crap. The jumping mechanic, because of the wings and the dive bombing moves and all that, it's horse shit. This game is so terrible, and I was heartbroken the first time I played this game. I could not believe how bad it was compared to the previous title. And it remains the greatest gaming disappointment of all the years that I've been collecting. I can't think of a single title that came out and disappointed me more than ActRaiser 2. So there you go. There's 7 games that disappointed me. Until next time, this is 7th.